Is Ferrari about to throw Vasseur out? And who is going to fill the gap? Ferrari's 2025 season was meant to be a comeback season, but it turned out to be a worst nightmare. Now, team principal Fred Vasseur's leadership is being questioned at the highest levels. Charles Leclerc is carrying all the results. And Lewis Hamilton still hasn't touched a single podium. With McLaren dominating and Mercedes gaining ground, Ferrari finds itself stuck in reverse. Meanwhile, Hamilton wants more than just a fast car. He wants control over Ferrari's future. Hit the like and subscribe button for updates, and let's find out why the next few races could decide everything for Vasseur, Hamilton, and the Scuderia. Let's get it straight. Ferrari's 2025 season has spiraled into something no one saw coming. After strong preseason testing and the blockbuster arrival of Lewis Hamilton, expectations were sky high. But halfway through the calendar, Ferrari finds itself clinging to second place in the Constructors' Championship. Not due to dominance, but because Red Bull and Mercedes have faltered. McLaren, meanwhile, has surged 238 points ahead, steamrolling the grid, and the man feeling the pressure, Fred Vasseur. According to Corriere della Sera, Ferrari's top brass has put his actions under scrutiny. He's being asked to justify the SF25's poor performance, and worse, he's accused of knowing little about the internal environment. A brutal charge for someone meant to steady the ship. And what about Antonello Coletta? The mastermind behind Ferrari's hypercar success at Le Mans is suddenly being whispered about as a replacement. And with Ferrari gunning for a third consecutive 24 hours of Le Mans victory, the timing couldn't be more precarious.
Because three different lineup won three different editions of 24 hours.
Though Coletta has reportedly turned down the F1 job in the past, a win in France could elevate him to the top of the list. Speculation is mounting, fast, and Fred Vasseur didn't stay silent. Fred Vasseur hit back. Facing a barrage of headlines suggesting he was on the way out, the Frenchman labeled the rumors disrespectful and really hurting the team. Vasseur told reporters in Montreal, "It's not about myself. I can manage. It's more about the people of the team." To throw their name like this, I think it's just disrespectful for them, for their family. The internal toll is clear. Vasseur says the speculation is a lack of focus, and in a sport where every 10th matters, distractions like this are costly. To his credit, Vasseur isn't hiding. He admits that being a team principal means being exposed, but says the noise impacts the factory workers and engineers the most, those grinding behind the scenes while the public tears down their boss. Still, he maintains faith. With Lewis and Charles, we have a good relationship. We have a clear target. The mood in the team is very good. That mood will need to hold, especially with the SF25 looking more like a problem than a solution, but not everyone thinks Vasseur is the problem. In fact, some believe Ferrari should count their blessings. If you believe Toto Wolff, Ferrari would be making a huge mistake to ditch Fred Vasseur. The Mercedes boss didn't pull punches. They won't get anybody better. Wolff knows what leadership cycles in F1 look like. He reminded critics that Jean Todt, who led Ferrari to glory, took 8 years to win his first title with the team. And despite Mercedes' current slump, Wolff isn't second-guessing his role. So why should Vasseur be under fire so soon? Wolff said, "Fred is one of the best racing managers that I know. If I weren't here, I would take Fred." High praise from a direct rival. Hamilton, who left Mercedes for Ferrari, doubled down. "Fred's the main reason I'm in this team. He insists Vasseur is the man to build a title-winning Ferrari project. We're in this together," Hamilton said, emphasizing his long-haul commitment and belief that Vasseur can take the team to the top. So while Italian media sharpen their knives, F1's most experienced voices are circling the wagons. Still, public support means little without results, and Ferrari is betting big on one last upgrade to change the narrative. It is do or die. Ferrari's SF25 has become a symbol of unmet expectations, and yet Vasseur's future may hinge on its final act. Ferrari's rear suspension update, quietly tested at Mugello, is expected to debut at Spa. It's a last-ditch effort to fix a flawed design and show upper management that progress is possible, even if the title is already gone. But the math isn't pretty. Ferrari has 222 points to McLaren's 460. At Silverstone, even stakes Nico Hülkenberg outpaced them.
Nico Hülkenberg, 239 starts and a podium finisher in Formula One at Long.
Every race brings flashes of promise. Competitive practice sessions, solid qualifying, but the result is the same. No wins, not enough podiums, and no clear recovery curve. And the clock is ticking. With the 2026 regulations around the corner, this season is not just about the present, it's about proving Vasseur deserves to build the future. Ferrari's next car will be built from scratch. New aero, chassis, hybrid power unit, and tires. Nothing from the SF25 carries over. The question is whether continuing to pour energy into 2025 makes strategic sense, or if it's already too late. Some insiders think Ferrari already has a plan B, and it involves one of the most controversial names in the paddock. Here's where things get wild. Rumors have surfaced about a McLaren-style management split at Ferrari. Vasseur stays on as team principal, but someone else comes in above him. That someone? Christian Horner, recently ousted from Red Bull after a scandal that rocked the paddock.
Breaking news first, coming in from Red Bull GmbH, saying that it has fired Christian Horner.
Horner is on the market, and with 14 world titles under his belt, his resume speaks for itself. According to reports, Horner's gardening leave was shortened to 6 months, freeing him up for a new gig by January 1st. Coincidence? But would Ferrari really do it? CEO Benedetto Vigna still holds the top job, so Horner wouldn't be Ferrari's CEO. He'd be an F1-specific executive overseeing Vasseur. In theory, it could bring structure and accountability. In practice, it's a power struggle waiting to happen. Even Riccardo Patrese weighed in, suggesting Horner's 2024 scandal could be the deciding factor if Ferrari moves toward change. Horner is very good, but I think that all the stories from last year would be a problem. They are still talking about this story. But Horner's brand of leadership is heavy-handed. Would he accept a second-tier executive role? And would Vasseur tolerate being micromanaged? Ferrari's next move may not be to fire Vasseur outright, but to hedge. Whatever happens behind closed doors, the next race might be Vasseur's most critical yet. The next stop is Spa-Francorchamps, July 25th to 27th. Fast, unforgiving, and weather-prone, this track doesn't lie. For Vasseur, every decision here could shape his destiny. The SF25's long-awaited rear suspension update is set to make its race debut. It's the technical roll of the dice that Ferrari hopes will salvage dignity in a fading season. But with 2026 looming, insiders wonder if energy should be diverted away from this campaign entirely. Hamilton, meanwhile, is pushing for influence. I'm working with Loic Serra to make sure that the next car will have some of my DNA. He wants a Ferrari built around his driving style, not a compromised carryover from the Leclerc era. That evolution begins now, and let's be clear, this is bigger than car balance. With Vasseur's contract up at year's end and Ferrari in no man's land, every department is under pressure. Morale, development, leadership, it's all up for review. The Belgian Grand Prix is going to be a referendum, not just on performance, but on vision. For Vasseur, for Hamilton, for Ferrari's entire future. So here's the situation. Fred Vasseur is betting everything on upgrades that may not save him, while Ferrari debates whether a shakeup, maybe even involving Christian Horner, is the answer. Hamilton's still winless in red, but already working behind the scenes to shape a car built for him in 2026. Leclerc is outscoring him, the SF25 is unpredictable, and Spa is the next big test. Ferrari has talent, money, and passion, but no time. The pressure's on, and the questions are piling up. Will Vasseur survive the season? Will Hamilton finally get the car he needs? Hit like, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe to stay on top of every Ferrari twist.